Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Black and Gold Report, a show all about UNC Pembroke athletics, presented by Pepsi. I'm Jenna Davison, and today on the show we're going to be talking football with head coach Shane Richardson, and on the second half of the show we're going to be talking with head women's soccer coach Lars Anderson. But first, we're joined by Coach Richardson. Welcome to the show again.
Thanks for having me back again.
Yeah, well, UNCP picked up its first win of the season with a hard-fought 16-14 victory over Fayetteville State at Grace P. Johnson Stadium. How does it feel to get that first win under your belt this season, and what are some of the things that you took away from the game to build into your program moving forward?
Sure. Obviously very great to come away with a win yesterday, and to get back on track after week one and the disappointment that came with that. I think it was most satisfying just to see the work that was put in by our guys throughout the week, and knowing that we could really bounce back and use week one as a learning opportunity to get back in the win column. And so it really paid off for our guys in their focus and in their mentality of what we talked about last Monday, and to see it all the way through and be able to win was really pleasing to see that. But I think also moving forward, we want to take this and just use it as momentum, and be able to really use it as confidence, a great confidence builder, and knowing that if we put our minds to it and we really commit to it and really stay the course, we can have a lot more games that are going to be wins this season and have great success.
Well, a much better performance offensively this week as the Braves finished with 321 yards of total offense, including 241 through the air. What was the difference on offense this week, and what are some of the things you still need to tweak heading into next week's game at Shaw?
Well, I think one of the differences was they just needed to get their feet wet a little bit there in week one. We have so many inexperienced players and players that are getting their first snaps of college football on that side of the ball, that they just needed to just kind of have a little bit of a confidence builder and go through some of those experiences that they haven't had before. And we've talked about before where you sometimes can make your biggest improvement from week one to week two, and we tried to really do that. And so for those guys to go out there and have the success that they did yesterday, really, I think, spoke volumes of them just staying the course and learning from the opportunities that we had throughout the week, from week one to week two.
Well, redshirt freshman Seth Owen finished the game with 241 yards through the air and completed nearly 70% of his passes. Compare his first two performances and what stuck out most for you on the sideline.
Yeah, the thing about Seth is that his personality is very even keel, and he doesn't get too high or too low. And so that really lends itself to be a good combination at the quarterback position for him to just analyze and look and evaluate and go back, after we get done with the game, to be able to say, okay, what can I do better? He's not too emotionally distraught. He's not too over anxious. And he really did that this past week. He was able to really just get the communication down with Coach Cox and our offensive coaches, and was able to bounce back and really use his strengths to be able to perform well this week. And I think he did that. What really stuck out was, I think, his poise and his comfort just being back there as the quarterback. And he was able to make some better decisions. He was able to put himself and the offense in some situations where he knew what they could or couldn't do. And so I think he managed it a lot better, and he was able to find a little bit better rhythm this week.
Well, you had some guys back in the lineup this week that were missing from week one, particularly George Wingham, who held a huge 77-yard touchdown reception in the third quarter. Vijay Bun also finished the game with 7 catches for 58 yards. How important are those big plays in the rhythm of your offense, and what do those guys bring to the table for your offensive scheme?
Yeah, offensively, we kind of have a philosophy where we're going to huddle and make sure that we almost slow the pace down, and a ball control offense where we want to make sure that we're not disrupting anything that we're going to do ourselves, which has been different than in the past. Typically in the past, we've tried to speed it up a little bit, and we feel like sometimes that has its advantages. But for right now, we've been huddling, and we slow the pace of the game down a little bit. So when you do that and you can continue to control the clock and control the ball and move the ball, we like to try to set ourselves up for what we call explosives, which are bigger plays that you're talking about. And so those are huge because what we don't want to just continue to get 3 yards, a time or 4 yards a time and not come away with anything for it. We want to be able to get 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, and then all of a sudden, hopefully get a 15-yard, a 20-yard, a 25-yard gain out of the deal, and to continue to put us closer to scoring.
All right. Well, we're going to take our first commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to continue talking football. So stay tuned.